Yo, 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 yo. What up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, good people? Peace and love. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. Peace and love. Happy Tuesday, beloved. Happy Tuesday. We are here live. Another episode of SR Daily. Navigating all of the struggles, all of the challenges of life to remain consistent and to remain consistent, man, and productive and positive and all of the things. It is not easy at all. It is not easy at all, but we are here. What's going on? Peace and love. 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 1 second. We are updating all of the stuff. But how y'all doing out there? Drop a comment. Let me know that you are alive and well. If you are tuned into the show, drop a comment. Drop a comment. Drop a comment. Let me know how you're feeling this morning. Let me know what's happening. Talk to me. 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 Peace. 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 What's going on? Yo, Shane Livingston, what's going on, big brother? How you doing? What's happening, Captain? What's going on? Peace and love to you and your family. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Instagram. And we are live on TikTok. We are live. We are live. Episode 315 of SR Daily. Episode 315 of SR Daily. We are rolling right along. Happy National Sons Day. Great rising. Happy Tenacious and Truthful Tuesday. Mona Love. Happy National Sons Day. Today is National Sons Day. I didn't know that. This lady knows all of the days. All of the days. National Donut Day, National Pizza Day, National Teacher Day, she knows all of the days, yo. My love is incredible. She's always shouting out the days. I think that's super dope. Fu said, peace and love, tuning in from Long Island City. Yes, you are in Long Island City this morning. I heard that you was going to be in Long Island City, my brother. I heard. If you are up to it, come through after the show. If you don't got no plans, you got nothing to do, man, come chop it up with your brother. Let's talk, man. I could use some brotherly love. I see you say you were coming out of some frustration. And I feel that frustration, my brother. I feel that frustration. Where is it? I'm emerging out of frustration. Fool is dealing with life, man. Life happens, right? Life happens, and it's okay to acknowledge our frustrations, and it's okay to acknowledge all of the things, right? All of the things that we feel. It's a happy, tenacious Tuesday. But yo, listen, welcome. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Marston. You are tuned into SR Daily, episode 315. SR Daily, where personality meets enlightenment. We are back again on this Tuesday, March 4th, 2025. I am not feeling so great myself, but we are here, still showing up, still doing the thing that we signed up to do, the thing that we said we was going to do. We are doing it, right? As tough as it gets, we are still doing it, man, and I'm grateful. Trying to get that phone. I don't like when that phone is there. Move this laptop over there like that. Boom, because that phone, the back of that phone is ugly, it's dirty, it's not nice, all right? But yo, listen, hit the share button, share this live with a few of your friends, 5 to 10 of your friends who may be interested in tuning in. Sister Mecca, what's going on? Peace and love. Thank you for tuning in on TikTok. I appreciate you. Remember, guys, that Facebook is where I am monetized. Facebook is who is able to pay me. TikTok, Instagram. Instagram, I'm monetized too, but I ain't make no money on IG yet. But I made a couple of dollars on Facebook. Not a whole lot, but a couple of dollars, a couple of checks, a couple of direct deposits from Facebook and Meta. So if you have Facebook, I would always appreciate if you tune in via Facebook more than Instagram, more than YouTube, and more than TikTok. Facebook is where I can generate some income to keep these things like this going. Right. But yeah, share this live, and we are going to get the show started right now. Today is March 4th, once again, 2025. It should be a beautiful day, beautiful rest of the week, beautiful next 2 weeks here in New York City. At least rain tomorrow, but good temperatures, mid 50s. A lot of things going on. Real right connects are necessary. She don't hear because teal right connects are necessary. Now, absolutely, sister. I appreciate you. Wherever you at. But let's get the show started, right? First segment, call of the day. I had some ideas, but my sister posted something. Sister Mecca posted something in her note, her Facebook messenger notes, and I took her words and quoted them, right? Because it was the energy that I was feeling, that I was gonna talk about anyway, right? So yeah, I decided to use her quote because my other quote was probably not gonna be so nice. All right, so you lean on to the greatness of others. So the quote for today is: "Be careful who you have children with." That is today's quote. Today's quote is very simple yet freaking profound, and you don't learn until you learn. Be careful who you have children with, and that is a quote from Sister Mecca, my beloved sister, for over a decade now. Known and loved the sister, man, and has trying to be there for the sister as much as possible. But yeah, be careful who you have children with. This wisdom, right? And these words ring so true, especially today, especially for me today. These words ring true. And although we can never fully know someone, all right, just as we are always learning ourselves, just as we are, constantly growing, constantly evolving, constantly changing, same goes with people, right? We can never fully know somebody. There's certain things you won't know about someone until you are in certain situations with them, right? You could think somebody is the best friend, right? For example, years ago, I had a girlfriend. I thought she loved me, right? Certain things, she did for me. Certain her family really didn't want her with me. She went against her family for me. But then in 2003, I think 2003, during the blackout of 2003, I got jumped. All right, I got jumped. It's dark. This brother hit me. His sister jumped in, and the girl I was with ran. All right. She ran. She said she ran to get her mother. She didn't know what to do because the people were a little older. Right. The people who jumped me were older. And so yeah, she ran, man. And you don't know, until you're in a certain situation. Like, she's from the hood. She was a tough girl. All right. And if you would have asked me prior, I would have said, yeah, she's gonna be there to fight with me. If I get into a fight, she fighting with me. And she ran in the dark, in the blackout, and like I jumped by a brother and a sister. It was crazy. But yeah, man, and thankfully we dodged a bullet because she was pregnant. She ended up having an abortion. She was one of the sisters who were pregnant by me, but ended up having an abortion. I'm super grateful, right? But yeah, man, right? Like certain things you don't know, man. But I do think that too often, too many of us have children with people simply because of quote unquote love. And even more people, I think, have children simply out of good feelings, simply because the sex feels good and you want to nut in her and you want to be nutted in, right? And so that happens, and now a baby is on the way, right? That happens too often, and I don't think love is enough reason to have a child with someone. You got to know their ways, right? And again, you can never fully know somebody, so like everything I'm saying is like take it with a grain of salt. But I do think that I know myself. I had because I lost my dad young, right? And because I believe that the only way to fill that void of losing my dad young, and as you all know already by now, that my dad was my best friend, my dad was my favorite human at the time, and like he's still the best person like ever in my mind, right? My daughter, my son as well, right? But my dad was the guy. And because I lost him young, and because like he was so great, and I had a huge hole in my heart from his passing, I believed that the only way to fill that void was to have a child. And so from the age of 16 on, I was trying to have children, right? Like as many times as I could, I was busting off, right? Inside of inside of a sister. 4 different women pregnant, 4 different times in my life. All right. One ended up having my child. All right. The rest had miscarriages and or abortions. Know that I've never condoned an abortion. I wasn't that guy who would nut in his sister and be like, oh, you got to get rid of that baby when she tells me she's pregnant. It's like, I wanted a baby, all right? And so although it may be tough, like we're gonna figure it out, and I'm committed to you, right? Because you got my child. But yeah, be careful, man, because people will tell you that they're there for you. People will tell you that they love you, right? Even marriage, right? Like, yo, through thick and thin, sickness, and in health, rich or poor, for good and bad. But the moment it gets bad, they leave. The moment it gets bad, they switch up, right? They want to do something different. And that's not okay, but it happens. And talking about it is giving me a freaking headache. Talking about it is giving me a headache, guys, because there's some real stuff happening, right? Some of you know, a little bit of my experience with parenthood, specifically what I've been experiencing in the last few years as it relates to my children. Sister Mecca said people will use the children against you. Absolutely, they will. But not everybody loves their children. All right, not everybody loves their children. There are some people who have children simply for the sake of something to love, right? How many people have? I've heard many people say, "Oh, I want a baby because I want something to love, or I want somebody to love me," right? Because they felt unloved from their parents, they felt unloved from their siblings, they felt unloved from people in general, and they want to have a child because they know that the child will depend on them, right? But that's not the right. I don't think that's the right energy to have a child with. That's not the right reason to have a child, simply because you want, quote unquote, something to love, or you want something to love you and to need you and to depend on you. I don't think that's a good reason. All right. I do think a good reason to have a child is because you want to contribute positively to society, because you want to bring a life into the world, and nurture it and raise it, because you want to extend your family, right? Things like that. And again, take my opinion with a grain of salt, right? I'm only 40 years old. Only have one biological child, so I may not know what I'm talking about, right? I haven't been married for multiple years. I was married for a few years and then split and divorced. But yeah, man, just be careful who you have children with, yo. Whatever that means to you, be careful, be careful, be careful. Be mindful of who you have children with. Be mindful, and then that even goes to then be mindful who you sleep with, right? And that's a big one, right? A lot of us, myself included, has had too many years of just casual sex, unprotected, right? As I said, I've had four women pregnant, three of which, I was in relationships with them, but I had no initial desire to like marry them or be with them full time, right, or for the rest of my life. One, obviously, I married first and then had a child with her, right? But the others, it was like, yeah, it was a great feeling. They were pretty cool for the most part, right? But yeah, be mindful who you have children with. Personal development for real, sister. Sometimes the signs be there, but we ignore the signs for our own self. 100%. I did that. I've definitely ignored the signs, right? Even in my marriage, right? Like 2 weeks before getting married, I was like, actually about 3 weeks before getting married. I got married in April, early April. I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And I said it to my ex-wife, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And then she gave a whole spiel about facing your fears and having courage and, not quitting. And I took it because she was right? But it was a lot. Like, she was a lot. Her situation was a lot. Her life was a lot. And I was like, I don't want to deal with that. But I went along anyway. And for the most part, I'm grateful, because if not for that, we would not have had a child. All right, because the child came after that. And so I'm grateful for my daughter, man. I'm grateful that we extended, our relationship as long as we could, because I was able to develop a lifelong bond with her son, who's now my son, right? I raised him as if he's my own, even to the, dislike of many others. But yeah, personal development. Sometimes the signs be there. The signs definitely be there. Just pay attention to the signs, right? Pay attention to the omens, right? The universe always speaks. The universe is always giving us signs. We just, a lot of times, too often, don't follow them. And yeah, right. That's us. We're gonna move right along to our second segment. Sefu said, "Damn, me and my ex-wife have not spoken in over 2 years, but my son is exactly what I could ask for. I think relationships are always developing. Tough decision. Relationships are always developing. 100%. 100%. Relationships are always, because we're always developing. So if we're always developing, we have to know that other people are always developing. And if we are always developing and other people are always developing, then the relationship that we have with them is always developing and always evolving, not always for the better. all right, personally or immediately, but ultimately all for good later on, right? And so I have no doubt that everything is divine, and that all happens as it should be, right? But my love said, yes, the person you choose as a partner is one of the most important decisions you make. Choose wisely and actually plan for a family. Yes, choose wisely and actually plan for a family. Sefu said, be the master of your mind, not its slave. Absolutely. Let's move right along to our second segment of the day. Today's second segment, we're going to change the tone up a little bit for our need some news of the day. We're going to go back with some good news. Good news, great news, ocean news, global news, humpback whales. Humpback whales are beginning to sing more as their food sources have increased. Let us read this article from what is coming to be one of my favorite websites to read, to check out, because it's always good news. It's funny news. Obviously, I think the news yesterday was about or was it yesterday or a few days ago, was the ninja who saved who foiled the burglary, right, by kicking somebody, come out of nowhere, kicking somebody, getting the woman's purse back for her, stop the whole robbery. He said, my son was unalived over 15 years ago, and my children's biological father I can definitely walk past. My sister, it was over 15 years ago. That was a long time ago. I remember vividly. And damn, I'm sorry that you can walk past him. Man, life, and its many, many, many challenges. I got goosebumps literally through my whole body just now. Let us read this article from the Good News Network. Humpback whales. Humpback whales are singing more. Number of songs has doubled as food sources became more abundant. Excuse me, burp. Eavesdropping on whale songs over the last 6 years is providing new information vital to answering questions about these giants of the ocean. The number of whale songs detected is associated with shifting food sources, according to the California scientists, and the number of days humpbacks have been singing has nearly doubled. When monitoring baleen whale songs in the Pacific Ocean, researchers found year-to-year variations correlated with changes in the availability of the species they forage on. In vast oceans, monitoring populations of large marine animals can be a quote-unquote major challenge for ecologists, explained Dr. John Ryan, a biological oceanographer at the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute in California, MBARI. Their team deployed underwater microphones called hydrophones to study and track baleen whales, which communicate over long distances through sound. Surprisingly, the acoustic behavior of baleen whales provides insights about which species can better adapt to changing ocean conditions, said Dr. Ryan, a lead author of the study. They also monitor songs from blue, fin, and humpback whales off the west coast of the U.S. to see what the song data could reveal about the health of their ecosystem. The findings, published in the journal PLOS1, showed large year-to-year variations in whale song detection. The amount of humpback whale song continually increased, with their songs being detected on 34% of days at the beginning of the study and rising to 76% of days after 6 years, said Dr. Ryan. These increases consistently track improved foraging conditions for humpback whales across all study years. Large increases in krill abundance, followed by large increases in anchovy abundance. In contrast, blue and fin whale song rose primarily during the years of increasing krill abundance. This distinction of humpback whales is consistent with their ability to switch between dominant prey. An analysis of skin biopsy samples confirmed that changes had occurred in the whales' diets. He explained that other factors, including the local abundance of whales, may have contributed to patterns in song detections observed in some years, but changes in foraging conditions were the most consistent factor. Overall, the study indicates that seasonal and annual changes in the amount of baleen whale songs detected may mirror shifts in the local food web. The results suggest that an understanding of the relationship between whale song detection and food availability may help researchers to interpret future hydrophone data, both for scientific research and whale management efforts, which could better protect endangered species. Listen to the enchanting whale songs in winter. Oh, wow, super crazy. I'm listening to that later. It's on YouTube. An enchanting whale song from deep below. You guys should check it out. I'll send it to a few of you guys. If you want, we're definitely going to share it on my social Facebook, most likely, so you can see it, the video. But this so super dope, right? And reading this makes me think and makes me wonder if the food that is available to whales increases their propensity to sing, right, or the volume in which they sing, then what does food access do for humans? What does food access, the amount of food and the quality of food, do for us as well as we sing, quote unquote, communicate, talk, and all of that good stuff? Appreciate all you do, bro. Yo, I appreciate you too, my sister. Truly, truly, truly appreciate you. Truly appreciate you. Of course, I owe you an interview. We got to talk about all of the things. On camera discussion, I think would be super dope. Sefu said, life be lifing. It sure does. But let us move right along to our third segment. Get the good news out there. Third segment, tip of the day. Simple tip, learn to accept and defeat failure. Learn to accept defeat and failure. Learn to accept defeat and failure. That is my tip for you all, as it is a tip for myself. We got to learn to accept defeat and accept failure. I've mentioned it before, and I'm sure you all have heard it elsewhere, but please don't get too down when you fail or lose. Don't get too down. When you fail or when you lose, understand that it is part of the process. It is not failure and loss does not mean that you are not good enough. It does not mean that you are not worthy. It does not mean that things won't eventually work out. It doesn't mean that things aren't working out. It just means that right now, for that goal, you did not accomplish it. That feat that you set out, you did not get it done. All right. And I think the difference between those who are considered great and those who settle for average is really how we handle adversity. I think that's the biggest difference between, quote unquote, the greats and the average, is just simply in how we handle adversity, how we handle loss, how we handle failure. Understand that the greats, we see failure and loss as necessary steps on the path to success, not things that hinder it. Right? Failure does not hinder success. The only thing that hinders success is not trying. The only thing that hinders success is quitting altogether. Right? You might have to put down a project. You might have to cancel an event. You might have to walk away from a relationship. You may have to do these things. It does not mean that you are a failure, nor does it mean that you won't win later. It just means that right now you lost. Right now you failed. The goal that you set out, I failed in my marriage. Right? I failed in many areas at many times in my life, but I am a winner. Why am I a winner? Because I get up and keep going. Right? I may cry. I may beat myself up. I may hit a wall. Right? I may go into a shell for a little while, but I'm going to get back up. I'm going to return. I'm going to fight again. I'm going to get back in the ring. I'm going to set a new goal. I'm going to, into a new relationship, as I've done. Right? I'm going to do different things. Right? I'm going to keep going. That's what separates the greats from the average. That the average lose and they give up altogether and say, oh, I'm not worth it. They get all of these self-loathing as opposed to just losing like, damn, I lost. How can I get better? I'm mad that I lost because I should not have lost. How can I get better? How can I get better? How can I get better? That's the difference. Not wallowing. And even if you wallow, right, if you can get out of it, it's all part of the process. But understand that when we lose or when we fail, it gives us an opportunity to learn and experience things that we may not otherwise learn and experience if we always win. That's a bar. When we fail or lose, it gives us an opportunity to learn and experience things that we may not otherwise have learned or experienced if we always win. They say failure is your greatest teacher. Losing is your greatest teacher, because when you win, rarely do you look inside, right? And, oh, how can I get better? Right? It's something I do all the time. I did a great event, right? I do great events, say, how can the next event be better? Right? Great things happen. I think about, how can I be better? 300th episode. Okay, what can make the 300th episode of my show? What can make the 400th episode better? Right? But we don't do that a lot of times when we win. We win, we celebrate, and we up in the clouds. But loss, when we lose, self-reflection. Damn, what can I do better? You need to ask the same questions whether you win or you lose. When the thing is over, what can I do better? How can I improve? How can I be better? How can I be more effective? How can I be more efficient? How can I be more impactful? How can I generate more income? Whatever it is, how can my next relationship be better than the last one? Right? Self-introspection and reflection is always key. Right? Be unbroken. Have an impactful day, sister. Appreciate you. Yeah, I can't see that last comment, my love, Mona Love. I can't see the last one on StreamYard. But let us move right along, guys, to our fourth and final segment. Fourth segment, keeping up with the theme, trusting your process. Our build of the day, trust your process, trust your process, trust your process. What does that mean? That means that trust that you are always in the process of becoming greater, becoming stronger, becoming wiser, becoming more resilient. You're always in the process of becoming healthier, becoming more successful, becoming more vibrant, more radiant, more trustworthy, more honorable, more noble, right? You're always in the process of becoming, and everyone's process is different and unique. Every single person's process is very different and it is very unique. Your process to success will look very different than the process of others, even if you are twins and grow up doing the same exact things. Why? Because your brain chemistry is always going to be a little bit different. And so how you see things is going to be a little bit different. How you process things is going to be a little bit different. You could have the same exact experience, the same blood, same DNA. It's going to be a little different though, right? It's going to be a little bit different, right? But everybody's process is different, right? Everyone's path and perspective different, right? Don't compare yourself to others. You don't know what they got to. Not only do you not know what they have to go through to get their success, you don't know how long their success will last. You don't know what comes with their success. You don't know, like, they may have done X, Y, and Z, become successful, and died 6 months later. If that's not your goal, don't compare yourself, because you don't want to die. That's why I don't really compare myself, like, at all. People have compared me to so many people, right? Notably, people have compared me to Brother Malcolm X, right? Our late great El Haj Malik El Shabazz. May his soul rest in peace, and peace be upon him. They've compared me to so many people, and I'm like, yo, with all due respect, Malcolm X is one of my favorite people. But with all due respect, the brother did not make it late in his life, right? He was assassinated at a young age, pretty much. That's not what I want for myself. I don't want to be assassinated young, although I would much rather die at a young age for a cause than to grow old and die just because. That's something I've said for years, right? Like, we all got to leave. I want longevity. I want to live well into my 90s, 100%. That is my goal. That's my aspiration. That is why I do my best to take care of myself as best as I can, right? But if I had to choose, do you want to live old? Like, the goal is to live old, right? To live a long time, be prosperous, make impact, right? Fight for a cause, and transition. That's ideal. That's perfect. However, if the choices were simply grow old and die just because, not having made an impact, not having, transformed anything in the world, not having made the world a better place, or to die young, knowing that you made the world a better place, knowing that the work that you did in your life will live even in your death, then I'll take that choice B, right? So don't compare yourself, because nobody's the same. Nobody's path is the same to get to a place, nor what happens after that. So there are tons of people, right, who get a lot of money young. I got a friend who got like $1 million, something like that, right? Or close to $1 million for an accident that he had. All right. This happened maybe, I want to say, time is crazy, right? Because I did 3 years in prison, and those 3 years, like, a little blurry. So I can't remember if it happened before I went to prison or right after, right? But he got a lot of money, bought a car, tripped on a girl, and now he's back in the hood hustling again. Got almost $1 million for an accident. And now he's back in the hood hustling. And he's hustling not like big hustle, like small hand-in-hand, nickel-down type stuff, right? And that's completely opposite of where we want to go. We want to get out. That's the goal, is to get out, right? Not to be there well into our 40s and 50s and 60s. But it happens, and it's real, and it doesn't mean the person's a bad person. It doesn't mean anything other than the fact that they got stuck. All right? But yeah, everybody's path is different, right? So, like, you get a lot of money, but you can lose it really fast. Or do you want to be the person that it takes a little bit longer, but it lasts a lot longer, right? So I'm 40, I'll be 41 next week, right? And I believe in my whole heart that by 45, I will be a multimillionaire. In the next 4 years, I will be a multimillionaire. And I believe that my multi-millions, because of the knowledge that I've acquired, because of the network that I have around me, my multi-millions will grow into hundreds of millions. And it's going to last not only my lifetime, but for the lifetime of my children, their children's children, and last at least 7, 8 generations. I have faith in that, right? That's what I'm working towards. Even in spite of all of my losses, in spite of all of the shortcomings, in spite of all of the hardships and all of the failures and all of the things, I still hold the same goal. I will be the wealthiest man on the planet, right? And my wealth will last for 7 to 8 generations. I have no doubt about that. So it took me a little longer, right? I've struggled a little longer than most people, right? I took the hard route. I took the route of independence. I took the route of, self-sufficiency, and it's been freaking tough and brutal. But it's my path, it's my choice, it's the life that I chose, the path that I chose, the path that I believe is destined for me. But just remember that, right? Like all is divine, right? Everything is happening exactly as it should in order to get you to the place that you prayed for in your heart. And I believe that. And I believe that we have to have a certain amount of loss, a certain amount of failure, a certain amount of heartache, a certain amount of grief that we have to experience, especially as men, if we want real lasting success. Because part of lasting success is humility, is understanding that you can lose it at any point. It's not a low view of yourself, no. And this may be, we may talk about this, the word of the day, maybe later on, right? Not a low view of yourself, not humble like that, where you see yourself as not worthy, but humble in the sense of understanding that at any point this could be taken away. At any point I could lose all of this. At any point everything could be gone. That's the humility, right? So everything is happening exactly as it should in order to get you to the place that you pray for in your heart. A place the place I prayed for was human, quote unquote, Mount Rushmore and Black Mount Rushmore. I intend to be one of the greatest people to ever live. That's my intention. That's my personal intention as LaShawn Sugar Marston, as world healer, is to be one of the greatest people to ever live. And in order to accomplish that, in order to see that come into fruition in my lifetime, I got to go through some stuff. And I know that I got to go through a lot of loss, a lot of failure. I got a lot of self-introspection, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of that. All right. But all is divine. All right. Trust your process. I trust mine. I hope you trust yours. And guys, with that, that is the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Darnell Stokes, top of the morning. Mona Love said, we can learn from pain and losses than we could ever. We learn more from pain and losses than we could ever learn from pleasure and wins. 100%. 100%. I give thanks regards to how hard it is. Absolutely. Perfection is the act of perfecting. Absolutely. Perfection is the act of perfecting. 100%. I give thanks regards to how hard it is. Top of the morning, Darnell. But yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you. You definitely top tier to me, bro. Thank you so much, my sister. I appreciate you. All is divine. Know it. Be great and make it a great one. Listen, guys, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do join us tomorrow, same place, same time, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. right here on SRDaily. Tomorrow will be episode 316. We're going to keep this thing rolling right along, man. Move right along. In week 64 of SRDaily, right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live, TikTok Live. Remember, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up. Power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love.